Welcome, my friends. I am Pankulendran, the dual language writer. Today, the subject is how the Sinhalese practice Hinduism along with Buddhism in Sri Lanka. It's an interesting subject. As you know, the Mahavamsa says that Vijayan came from India, Kalinga state, and he was a Hindu. He came to and landed in Sri Lanka in the 6th century BC. He married the Yaka queen, or sorry, princess called Queni. The Yakas, Nagas, and the Vedas were the three original people of Sri Lanka. Yakas followed Shaivism, Nagas followed the serpent, worship serpents, and the Vedas worshipped Kartikeya. This was in 6th century before Christ. Now, the Buddhism came to Ceylon, Sri Lanka, we call it, in the 2nd century BC. That's nearly about 4 centuries. And that was at the time when King Devanamidhisan was ruling Antajapura kingdom. He was a Hindu. He was converted to a Buddhist by Mahinda, the son of Asoka, who sent him to spread Buddhism. That was the time Buddhism started in the 2nd century BC. So before that, Hinduism was existing in Sri Lanka. Ravana, you know about Ramayana, and Ravana is supposed to be a Yaka king, and he was a worshipper of Sivalingam, the Shaivite. And he also married in Tirukkediswaram his wife Mandodari, as father was ruling that area, Mandodar. And also he was worshipping in Koneswaram. There are proofs for that. Now coming back to the subject, how did Sinhalese started following Hindu gods? They say that Buddha is an incarnation of Vishnu. So in wherever the Buddhist viharas are there, the Vishnu worshipping is there. One of the interesting thing is one of the 5 Ishwarams called Dondeswaram down south in Dondra. The structure of that building is unlike the other 4 Ishwarams where the Gopurams are there. There is no Gopurams. It's a blue color building, and it has an appearance of a Vishnu temple, but it is called Dondeswaram. Tenamanturai. It's in Dondra. Well, that is one part of it. Now, there are several gods that is being worshipped by Sinhalese other than the Vishnu. One of the most important god is Kadragama or the Kartikeya, Murugan. Because Vedas worship Muruga, because Vedas, main thing is that they use a spear to hunt. The tip of the spear is like a whale. And that is what they said that is feeding them, therefore they started worshipping it. And one of the leaders' daughter, Valli, married Kartikeya, and that particular love affair took place in Kadragama, the Yala sanctuary. That is why the Kadragama temple is a Murugan temple that was being built by the Vedas. And still when you go there, you can see the dry leaves on top of the roofs of on the entrance to the temple. And moreover, the pujas, the ladies who carry the prasadam with the ladies. And there's a yantra inside the temple, is no idol. But this particular temple was worshipped by the Ruhuna king, Kalani Tisa. His capital was Tisamarama, which is 11 miles from Kadragama on the west side of it. And he worshipped it. And his son, Dutugaimano, before going to war with the Lalan, went to that temple, worshipped. And mind you, please remember that Kartikeya is a Tamil god. He worshipped him to go and fight with the Tamil king. And he won the war, came back and renovated the temple. This is what the Mahavamsa says. So the first thing is the Murugan, the Kartikeya is a worshipper. There are many elephants in Sri Lanka, and sometimes the elephants go and attack the paddy fields and cause problems for the what do you call the farmers. Therefore, they will start worshipping Ganapati, which is symbol of elephant. And especially in many area, you see a lot of Ganesh temple. And also in the southern part of it, also people started worshipping. And in certain places, Ganapati, like in Kalani Mahavihara, there's a Ganapati statue that was a very old statue. And they call it Ganapati Deigo. And also, it's also been used in a Esala Peragara in Kandy as an idol. So after the Kartikeya and this thing, the third important thing is the Patini Deyo. It's called Kannagi Amman worship. His name is changed to Patini Deyo. And this happened brought in by the famous king Gajabagu, who went to Kerala on the invitation of Seran Senguttuvan. And Seran Senguttuvan's elder brother was Langavadigal, was a Jain, and he was a monk. And he wrote the Silappadigar because Kannagi is a Jain, but his husband's second wife, Madhavi, is a Buddhist monk, and the daughter, Manivala, is a Buddhist monk. Sorry. After Kannagi's husband, Kovalan, was punished, beheaded by the Madura king, and the Madura was burnt, Kannagi walked towards Kerala, and he narrated the story to one of the old the people from the area, and they narrated that story to Langavadigal, and he wrote the Silapatikara. So there was a festival in Kerala. Sharon Sangatwani invited Gajababu. He went there. He saw some miracles in that thing, and he was taken up by the Kannagi worship. So he requested some idols to be given to him of Kannagi, and he gave him stone idols of what he called stone or standalone idols to Gajababu. He brought it through Madagal, the northern port we call Sambugolam in Jaffna Peninsula. Through that's what the Madagal indicates. Mada Kal. Mada means Kannagi, Kal means stone. So it refers to the statue of Kannagi. He brought it through that, and the first the Kannagi temple was started in Angana near Kandarode, near Alavatti. And then the 10th temple was built in Vattapalli Koil in near Mullivakal, near Mullathi. Pattavadu Amman Koil means Vattapalli Amman Koil. Then he brought in through to Antajapura and southern part, and he established a lot of temples there. And in Kandi Peragara started by him the same way as the Kannagi festival in Kerala. And the statue of Patini is still being carried in the Perahara along with the truth relic, Buddha's truth relic, and also Vishnu and Ganapati idols. Also, it spent in Median southern parts and in Sitavaka in Avisavala Road, Rankalambu. There's a place called Navagamua near Kaduvela. I have been there, and that is a Patini temple. And there are many Patini temples, and also the Patini worship, the Kannagi worship in eastern province is very prevalent. Many temples there, and the connection is because through the Mukwar caste. So the Patini worship is one of the things. The third worship is more important, is about Kali Amman. They do worship Kali Amman because in Munneswaram there is a Kali temple next to adjoining the temple, and they sacrifice animals and what do you call birds, but that has been stopped. The Sinhalese patronized that. Sinhalese patronized the Munneswaram temple, very well, because that is more a Catholic, Buddhist and Tamil area. One time it was predominantly a Tamil area. So that was one of the things, worshipping Kaliyama. The other worshipping is about Bhairava. Bhairava is called Bhairava. Bhairava is a guardian for them. And even Kandy, that's called Bhairava Kanda. That's called the mountain of Bhairava. There was a legendary story behind it. And Bhairava is another worship that they do. And also they worshipped Hanuman, because Ramayana has connection with Sri Lanka. And there's a story that when um, Lakshman was injured, they had to bring in some medicine from Himalayas. So Hanuman flew to Himalaya and brought what he called the Sanjeev Malaya, or the mountain that contains the herbs. While coming, he was tired, and he was some of the what he called the mountain fell, and it fell in Unabatuna, Onnavetuna. That's in Sinhalese. They said there it fell. It's about a few miles west of along the coastal region from Gaul, and there's a Hanuman temple there, very big temple. And also in northern province there's a temple in Jaffna Peninsula. So Hanuman worship was there. Then the Sita worship is there near Nuvarelia, Sita area. There the Asoka Vanam was there, and there Sita was kept as a prisoner. And this temple is well developed just opposite Agalagans. I have been to that temple. So Ravana worship, these two temples are also being used. And those people, they believe in mantras. And they have Tovil. Tovil is just like the way the in Hindu priests, they drive away the devils by chanting things in a Vairava temple or anything. So the same type of behavior, the customs and this thing is there. So Hinduism, it is much sort of mixed with Buddhism in Sri Lanka. But I was a bit surprised to see that when the ethnic riots came, they went and destroyed the temple, especially Panadura Murugan temple. They went and burned they put the priest in a boiling oil or tar, and also they destroyed most of the Hindu temples. So they don't understand the main principle of a religion. They are a violent force, the Sinhalese. You can see from the flag, which carries a sword. And for a Buddhist country, carrying a sword means violence, signifies. And even now you can see how their things are happening, and it's becoming worse because of the economic crisis. So the Buddhist monks do not practice the real Buddhism there. They are becoming a different violent Buddhism, and the big Buddhism is being betrayed there. But Hinduism is mixed with the thing. Well, most of the Hindu Buddhists have been converted to Catholics after the Portuguese arrival, and they carry the Portuguese name like De Silva, Fonseca, Fernando, Peter, and all those things. But the thing is, the Dutch also did change some people to Anglican religion, but British didn't change very much. But there was in the Hindu, in the Buddhism, there were a lot of violent Buddhist monks. They got politically involved in it, and also people like Buddha who was plotted along with Somarama Thero, killed the first, second, fourth Prime Minister, S.W.R.D. Bandaranaike. He shot him dead. And even that continued. And now, even now, they are very violent. But after this particular, economic crisis, they have gone very silent. You will never trust them. They are a disgrace to the Buddhism religion. Anyhow, this is what I could talk about the influence of Hinduism among the Sinhalese Buddhist. Thank you very much for listening, and please put your comments. This will be appearing in the YouTube. Bye now.